You must have gone through just a staggering amount of footage. How do you do that, and how long does it take? Walk us through a little bit of how you do that.
You do it very haphazardly, without a plan. No, I mean, I think we ended up with like 1,700 hours of footage at the end of it. I mean, when we started the edit, I think we had acquired maybe 300 or 400 or something like that, and
we were like, "There's so much footage.
Yeah.
It's 300 hours."
You know, I think in a perfect world, we would have had 2 years to make this, and we had 9 months. I mean, I'll admit, like, naively, we were like, oh, 9 months to cut a documentary. That feels about right. That's something we've done in the past. But it wasn't until like the first couple of days sitting in the edit, because TJ and I, you know, cut our films as well, and we sit in the same room while we do it, which is probably not healthy. But, you know, we were kind of sitting there and we're like, oh man, we never took into account that, like, every film or the film we made before, like, you're shooting it and you're thinking about the story as you're shooting it. You're already starting to self-edit. Mm-hmm. You're not walking in the day of and being like, okay, what do we have? So it was intense. And the process was crazy. I mean, just acquiring the footage, you know, we went to the usual suspects, but we also wanted to make sure that we found the different points of view, as TJ talked about. So there was a fair bit of detective work, also reaching out to communities, speaking to people, like, does anybody have home videos that they just happen to have sitting in, you know, a closet somewhere, or who made a film in 1994 and hired, you know, a shooter to go shoot some stuff, or found somebody that had some archive that hasn't been seen since then. It was a process of acquiring, watching, and then, I mean, you know, we can talk more in depth about the edit, but it was very instinctive. Like, okay, that feels right. Now, how do we build to that moment? I mean, we did a lot of research before even entering the edit, to know the story we were telling, obviously. Yeah, honestly, it's kind of a blur, because it was just a very intense experience. It's also not the easiest footage to go through every day. And then, you know, and sorry to be long-winded, but then the end you see is probably the moment where the most editorializing the footage itself, where we're kind of cutting between Watts and in 1992, you know, going to work every day and watching footage from 92 and either waking up that morning and seeing the news that was so similar, or going home and seeing the same phrases, seeing the same things happening. It was a very intense experience just as filmmakers to just see that, like, yeah, this cycle, you know, and that's us as filmmakers. I'm not pretending to know what it is like to live through it.